hold these, and I'm just gonna shimmy, okay? Keeping my knees bent, like I said, the knees twinging just a tidge today. Must have just moved it wrong. I don't know. So we're just shimmying side to side, getting warmed up. Getting those biceps fired, getting the back fired, so I'm squeezing my shoulder blades, keeping my butt engaged, keeping my low abdominals engaged. Nice deep breaths. And of course, if you want to go lower, that's really hurting me today. You can go ahead and do a lower squat. I encourage you to modify to either make it more difficult or easier. That is up to you. And of course, you're taking nice deep breaths. I'm gonna go ahead and get my arms moving a bit more. So I'm just gonna do one at a time, biceps curl and overhead, hammer curl and overhead press. I'm gonna sit on my ball. So sitting nice and tall. No, I'm baggy for now, but engaging the core, okay? Just gonna hammer curl overhead. Remember that you do not have to go all the way straight up if you've got a shoulder injury. Remember that you can keep your shoulders level and just go up to right here. Just try not to go too far back, right? So nice deep breaths, a few of those. And taking nice deep breaths the whole time. If this is too easy for you sitting down, I encourage you to keep doing your shimmy side to side. Nice and smooth, and control those weights the whole time. A few more. Good, one more on each side. Good. I'm gonna go ahead and do some triceps extensions from the back. Okay, so what I like to do is just sit up nice and tall, either on the ball or the chair, nice flat back. I'm gonna bring these right overhead. And I'm gonna try really hard not to arch my back, right? Try to keep a nice even back. And those weights are just kind of smooshed together, and I'm gonna extend overhead. That is the first airplane I have heard in a long time. Huh. All right, make sure we're extending. And if that's too much for your shoulder, you can always just be bent over and it's like kind of a small lunge like this, just with your feet relaxed, right? And you can just do a row and then an extension to the back, okay? That's another way you can do these. I like them overhead. So just a few of those. Nice deep breaths. A few more. Sweatshirt is about to come off already. Let's do one more after this one. And relax. Whew. All right, pardon me for just a moment. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to the biceps. Okay, so you can do this standing or sitting. You're just gonna stand nice and tall. Just remember to keep your core engaged, right? And just keep your knees soft unless you're sitting in the chair, okay? And I'm just gonna do nice, clean biceps curls. Use heavier weights. Hope I don't regret this. Nice and smooth. Now, especially if you're challenging yourself with the size of the weights, you really wanna make sure that you're not letting your upper body swing, okay? It's just a pet peeve of mine, right? Use the muscles that you're intending to work, right? Really hold your core tight. Try not to move your upper body. A few more of those. Good. One more after this. Good, and I'm gonna just use one of these guys for some more triceps extensions. Nice and smooth. You can do whatever triceps exercise you like. When you're doing these extensions, try not to open your elbows out to the side. Keep them forward. And try not to arch your back. Not on my game today. A few more. Those triceps, those arms should be a burning. I'm using my right arm way too much. I'm just going to do a few isolated with my left. Try not to get my ponytail involved. Just a few. And it's really hard to do this with one side at a time, by the way, especially with heavier weight, because you have to stabilize the shoulder at the same time. So if you're going to do this, start with lighter weights. Yep, that's enough on that shoulder. And come down nice and slow. All right, I'm going to do some more hammer curls, right? So palms are facing my body. I'm just going to bring them up nice and smooth. Trying really hard not to move my body. My arms are pretty stringy right now, so it's pretty tough. Semester of college will make you stringy, that's for sure. Nice deep breaths. Good, and relax. Whatever weights you're using, let's just go ahead and do some small T's, okay? Usually we bring them out to the side. You don't have to do that. Remember, quality over quantity. Just a second. Maybe it's my shoulders that aren't the problem. Maybe my webcam isn't level. We can blame the webcam, right? I didn't fix a dang thing. That's okay. I look crooked. I promise I'm standing as straight as I can. So just out to the sides. Remember, you don't need weights for this. If you have a shoulder injury, you can just kind of imagine that you're creating tension, lifting the arm, and then pushing it back in, right? So we're not just lifting it and letting it drop down. We're really creating tension and then back down. And you can bring them to the front too. Just make sure that you're not driving a Cadillac, right? Don't lean back. Keep that core active. And this should be an exercise for your core too, because you're really working. If I disengage my core, I don't have as much control over my upper body. A couple more. Good, and go ahead and relax. I'm gonna do another set of those triceps extensions. Being mean to the arms today. So to get up into here, remember what we do is start with a biceps curl to the collarbone. We do an overhead press best we can, and then we leave those upper arms where they are and just extend the forearm. Nice deep breaths. It's too light, too light. Of course, this might be too heavy, that's okay. You do your best. I did 1 rep, it's too heavy. Just keep breathing. A few more. Finish up your last one. Ooh, uncle. And bring them back down and take a breather. I'm gonna use my coffee table for this next set of things. I will show a modification though before we do our set. So let me bring my friend the trash picked coffee table. And I'm gonna do some push-ups. So with a push-up, please make sure that if you're using some kind of supportive surface that it is going to support you. Do not use a glass table or a chair. I really think that that's just not safe. Your couch might work, actually. Your wall will definitely work, okay? So when we're doing push-ups, we wanna make sure that we're nice and flat in the back. I see a lot of people dropping their back down, or I see a lot of sinking in between the shoulder blades. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do as many push-ups as I can, which is probably less than or equal to 3. And here's a modification for you, either, again, on your coffee table, on your chair, or whatever. I think I'll do both, just to demonstrate both. We'll do a couple sets, but you can roll it out with your head on the North Pole. Bring those weights up over the chest, and we'll do some chest presses. Okay, so pick whichever one you like. If you're still looking for an alternative, please get some of these. They're excellent, they're very versatile. You can always wrap it around something and make a loop, right? And you can always do presses that way. A million different things you could do. So everybody go ahead and do what you're going to do for your chest. If you're still not sure, you can just do imaginary push-ups, right? Just standing nice and tall and you're engaging the chest and trying to push a wall away from you, right? And then bring those shoulder blades together and then push that wall away from you, okay? So let's go ahead and go for it. Nice deep breaths. Greater than or equal to 3. Less than or equal to 3, I think is what I said, yeah. Okay, nice deep breaths and go for it. I think I can do one more. Always tell yourself you can do one more. A few more. Keep it going. And take a break. If you're doing push-ups at an incline like I am, or on the ground, it really doesn't matter if you get all the way down. It's the least important thing. The most important thing is your form. We're gonna do another set of those, and then we'll switch it up to the other way we can work the chest. All right, nice deep breath, here we go. Mercy. Please do better than me, everybody. I'm sure you are. When you have to, take a break and then do another set. Generally speaking, because of the skeleton, women have a hard time with push-ups and upper body exercises. I certainly fit that stereotype as much as I hate that. My legs are much stronger. Take a break, and we're gonna switch up to a different chest exercise. Yeah. I'm just gonna start from here. Okay, so again, I'm gonna lift my butt up, so I'm not gonna let my butt drop down. Just gonna do a bridge, nice passive glute exercise. Knee doesn't like that too much. And starting at the chest, straight up, and then presses. Remember, you really don't need weights for this, especially if you have a shoulder injury. I really recommend using light weights. I'm switching to my table, and that is entirely preference. So keep going. Somehow still don't have enough space for this. So if you have trouble, if you're on your coffee table, remember you can always bring your legs up, okay? If it hurts your low back. Coffee table is nice because it guides you as to how far your arms should be going down. Just remember that those weights really shouldn't travel past your chest or up towards your throat. Textbooks like to say the nipple line. You can interpret that how you will, but it's your mid-chest, right over the heart.
Lauren, would it do any good to hold on to the weight with both hands?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you can always just do like this, right? Yeah, it's not going to work because you're not getting as much range of motion contraction of the pectoralis muscles. But if you have to modify that, absolutely. I was just about to say too that, oh, I'm out of breath. Hang on. You can always modify if you're really trying to get just a sense of the movement. This will work really well. Okay, and there's very little weight, but it'll at least get the full range of motion. Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm struggling. Here we go, right? So at least get the full range of motion for the most part, okay? And it lets you see how level you are And then you can use both hands. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You'll just do just like this. Right down to the chest. The more externally rotated you are, so if you're doing it with one weight, you're coming down like this. If you're doing it with two, you're opening up like this, which requires more muscle. So do what your body can do. We're still going. At least I'm still going. And I have my legs up here just because I want a little extra leg challenge, a little core challenge here. The further out you extend them, the harder it becomes. Just be careful to keep your form. A few more. I'm trying to get you sore. Good. And go ahead and relax. I just thought of another modification for that. If you don't have weights, if you don't like weights, but you have one of these, wrap it around your upper body. You'll probably want to get loops. Don't get it stuck in your hair. I promise. Look at what I just did. I'm a 4.0 student. Here we go. Okay, so wrap it around your chest and your back like this. Okay, and like I said, you're gonna want loops, and you can just lay back like this, and that's some tension right there, right? Just creates a little bit of extra. You can even do this standing. Okay, right, just like that. And it'll work your back and your chest just the same. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do some flies with this, right? So you're gonna do fly just like this. So if you've got weights, go ahead and use your weights, okay? I'm gonna cross my elbows over. So my elbows are slightly bent, nice and curved, like I'm flexing, okay? I'm just gonna bring those arms across, make sure that they don't go up. I wanna bring them, just keep them at shoulder height. This is gonna work your shoulders, gonna work your chest. And actually the muscles underneath your shoulder blade too, and a little bit in like the armpit. Alternating sides. A couple more. And relax. Whew, grab some water. You got me thinking about using one hand for some of these exercises. So as far as push-ups go, I really wouldn't recommend doing them inclined, but you can always practice the strength and stability of one shoulder, right? You'll just go down like this and then use the muscles of the chest to push yourself away from the wall. And once you feel confident in both shoulders, you can do them both at the same time. So that's a really good modification for shoulder rehab. So let's go ahead. I want to do some, how much time we got? Oh, plenty. All right. I'm gonna do some more chest, actually. We're gonna do some more upper body, some more chest. I am going to use my 3Zs, okay? And go ahead and just bend those knees, hips back. We're gonna do some flies. So we wanna make sure that we're not going past the midline, okay? We wanna stay right at the midline the best we can. Elbows are soft, keeping that core active, and I'm really feeling this in my low back and between my shoulder blades. If you don't like this one, do straight rows. Standing up, straight rows. Engaging the shoulder blades, squeezing together every single time. Right? You can even alternate one fly, one row. One fly, one row. You'll probably feel this at the top of the trapezius too, at the base of your neck. Please don't throw your weights. I see this all the time. And your back is gonna scream at you when you do that. You're not gonna get any benefit from your upper back when you do that. Smooth, hold that upper body. Keep it going. Generally, if you have to throw your weights to get up to that height, your weights are too heavy for you. Start getting tired, you can switch to the rows for a minute. One more. And relax. Go ahead and take a stretch. I focus so much on the upper back because as we get older, this forward neck and kyphotic posture tends to be very common, and we have something going on with the hips, right? Or we've got, this is the millennial. Ooh, okay. So keeping the muscles between the shoulder blades is really strong, is really important for maintaining your posture. So I'm gonna go ahead, changing it up a little bit, assuming everybody at least has a chair that you're using or some weights. Use my 8s, okay? And I'm gonna do my best to keep my back straight, okay? Again, if I'm further down than your body will allow, you can always use a chair, okay? Always modify. Down using my table. I'm gonna do a row with one hand and a triceps extension. Y'all kicking my butt. Nice straight back. You can also do this without any support if you want. Just make sure that you're not rotating, okay? Keeping that back totally flat and square. Don't let this happen, right? Also, don't let this happen. Don't open. You don't need to. You stay totally square. A couple more. And relax. Take a stretch. Stretching those triceps. I'm being nasty to those triceps today. All right, other side. Okay. If you have an injured shoulder, you're gonna wanna just take this one small range of motion, right? So you don't need to necessarily extend all the way back. You can just do small like this. You don't even need weight. Or a resistance band would be good. And to the other side. It's kind of a combination between a row, a hammer curl, and a triceps extension. Nice deep breaths. Again, you don't need to be bent over in half like this. You can be pretty much fully upright and feel the same benefit. My left shoulder's struggling with this one, so I'm gonna switch to my lighter weight. If you find that you need to do a few extra on your weaker side, do that. You never want to cause imbalances. You want to try to stay as even as possible to prevent injuries, but if an injury has caused an imbalance, then you definitely want to work that weaker side a little bit harder until it matches. A couple more. And relax, stretch it out. Oh, feel that right there. Grab some water. Alrighty. I'm gonna stretch my chest just a little bit too. Just open up those shoulders. Breathe. All right. I'm gonna do something I don't usually do. All right. You can do this sitting down. It'll be challenging either way. So I got shoulder injuries on my mind today. I guess it's because my knee hurts. Now, I want you to make sure that you are not above shoulder height. We want to see either at shoulder height or just drop down just past. And we're just going to do a little flap. Okay, little tiny flap. Promise I'm not crooked. I look totally crooked in the webcam, whatever. Okay, so just little flaps. And this is all happening at the shoulder. If it's too high up for you, same thing, just bring it down. Just little pulses. Okay, find a height that works for you. Nice deep breaths. You can make it harder by rotating your palms backwards. Go ahead and do that. If this hurts your shoulder again, bring it down. Lower it down. Keep pulsing. Take a quick break. Palms up, same thing. Okay. I gotta stand and pulse, or stand and walk. This distracts me from how hard this is. Nice deep breaths. A little bit longer. And relax. All right. Palms forward, same thing. Little pulses, front and back. Deep breaths, a little bit longer. And relax. Drop your head, shake out those shoulders. Take a moment to stretch. Spent so much time with my back straight. This feels really good. All right. Let's do some lower body, shall we? I think on Friday we'll focus on some core. It's just hard doing core, not knowing what equipment everybody has. I always feel kind of weird getting down on the ground and back up all the time. So I think Friday, be prepared to spend some time on the ground. Today is your precursor to that. So, okay. So go ahead and find yourself on the ground or on your coffee table. Even really your couch will work. You want it kind of firm though. You don't want it to be too squishy so that your back curves and all that good stuff. And my yoga mat makes me feel fancy, so I'm going to use it. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just lay right on my side like this. Now, for those of us who need to practice the shoulder stability and strength, this is really good for you to do, okay? So what we're trying not to do is sink down. I'll switch this way. We're trying not to sink down into the shoulder joint, right? So we should be shoulder directly over the elbow, and we don't want this to happen, okay? All right, we want to be nice and tall, and our hips and shoulders are square, and you can put your hand wherever you want. If you want to keep working on your arm strength, go ahead and lift it up to the ceiling. Otherwise, we're going to do clamshells, okay? So I'm going to make it harder by putting a band around my knees, totally optional. Okay, so make sure that your bottom hip doesn't move. You need to kind of imagine that you've got a weight on your bottom knee and it's pushing down into the floor, and you're going to try to open up so that this knee faces the ceiling. Okay, you can use this hand for balance. If you have to, if it's too much for your shoulder, just go ahead and lay down. But you're really going to have to work on not rolling to the side. Keep this knee down. Okay, really opening. If you're standing, not getting down on the ground, you can practice your tree pose. So I'll go ahead and show that. Use your wall or your chair for support. Okay. You can practice just opening up, but keep your hips square. Don't let yourself rotate. Hips stay totally square, and you're just opening that knee out to the side. Okay, we're gonna do a bunch of these. And I'm gonna lay down just like this. And my clamshells. If you've ever been in physical therapy, you can also put a weight on your leg here if you want to. A couple more. And hold the last one. Make sure this hip is down. Push, push, push. Open that hip. And float it down. Nice, nice, nice and slow. Whew. And relax. Audio being kind of funky. Okay, hang on just a second. Let me just turn off my headset real quick. Oh, it's funky when I lay on it. Yeah, if any molecule moves past the mic, it makes noise. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and do these clamshells without the headphones on me. I guess I'll talk a little louder if I need to. So I'm on the same side, and we're just doing another set. A few more. Remember to keep this knee pressed down. Nice deep breaths. Couple more. And hold. Hold, hold, hold. Lift it up. Support it if you need to, but hold it up there. And float it on back down. I'm gonna switch sides. You could just roll over. You don't have to flip 180 like I did, but right. Open that knee up to the side. Your hips and your feet act as the hinge. Open that hip. Remember, try not to open the bottom one. Core active. Deep breaths. And hold at the top. Is anyone having trouble with these or need a different modification? I'm really trying to focus that gluteus medius today. I want you to make sure that you're feeling included. Okay, I'm laying on my mic. Hopefully it doesn't do a thing. Next set. I suppose if I was not laying on my mic and working harder, it wouldn't be a problem. Keep breathing. Keep that core active. One more. And hold. Woo. Easy peasy, no problem. And float on back down. Whew. Tricky. All right, I'm gonna keep this band around my knees. I'm gonna do some bridges because I wanna work the gluteus maximus. So we just did the medius, which is responsible for hip stability and external rotation. Now we're gonna work the medius, which is responsible for a lot more. So we're gonna root those feet down into the ground. Knees are slightly apart. Push your whole back, your entire back into the floor and squeeze your butt like someone's lifting your hips. Okay, all the way up as high as you can, and then float back down and spring back up like this, like there's a pin right here, and boing, all the way back up. You can always add a weight if you want to, if you need the additional challenge. If you're not feeling like being on the ground, you can keep doing some clamshells. You can also do up against the wall or on your chair. You can also kind of do some kickbacks. Try to keep your toes forward, and that'll target the maximus. As soon as you rotate the toes outwards, you're targeting the medius now. So don't mind me grabbing my butt here. Maximus is like what you think of as butt shape. Medius is over here. Okay, so you'll feel the difference. And I'm going to keep doing some bridges. Of course, you're always welcome to do squats and lunges and burpees as well. Right on the hips there. Squeeze the booty. This is a good reason to use the band if you have trouble stabilizing your knees. Helps ensure that your knees have to work to open up. Don't let them come in towards one another. Then you're going to work the inner thigh, strain that knee. So deep breaths. A few more. And hold at the top. Deep breaths. And float it back down. Bring those knees to your chest or take a stretch. We've got just about 10 minutes left, so I think we'll do another set of those, and we'll do some stretching afterwards. Please let me know if you have requests. And up. Deep breaths. If you're having trouble with this with your lower back, it might be because when you squeeze your butt, you're kind of arching the back. So you don't have to go up so high if that's the case, right? Just do little pulses. You don't have to reach full extension, and that'll take some pressure off of the lower back. My butt is on fire. A couple more. And hold at the top. Contemplate your ceiling. And release, float back down. Bring those knees up to the chest, stretch it out. You know, while we're down here, let's just spend a couple minutes on core. I think I did these on Wednesday, some pelvic floor exercises, and we're gonna do those today too. So what I'd like you to do is just plant those feet down. You don't need the band, as usual. Plant those feet down, and you're gonna push them. You're gonna push them into the floor. So you're gonna kind of feel like your body's sliding away. I'm getting harassed. All right, you want plies? We'll do plies. We're not doing plies. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and we're gonna push those heels into the floor. Careful what you wish for. And we're gonna imagine that imagine that you're on your bed. You're trying to get on that pair of skinny jeans that you gotta like, you know, you're gonna really suck it in and put them on. We've all been there. Okay, so try to really suck in that belly button towards your spine. And I also want you to imagine that this is very poorly planned and you did not use the restroom before you tried to put on your skinny jeans. So you're also squeezing your pelvic floor muscles in the groin, right? So you're sucking it in, try to breathe at the same time. And we're just gonna do a tiny bridge, right? We're just kind of squeezing the bottom of our butt just enough to lift the butt off the floor, okay? If you have your hands here already, just go a little bit further off the floor, right? But you're really trying to get on those pants, okay? Really keeping that pelvic floor engaged. Do your best, right? You're gonna feel that all through here, ladies. And guys, if we have any, you have the same sort of muscles, do your best. Squeeze like you've got to go to the bathroom. And little pulses. If you need extra, you can arch and then return. Arching and return. Okay, couple more. And relax. You should feel that like right here. Low part of your belly. Let's go ahead and just, while we're laying here, we're gonna stick out those legs away from us. If you are standing, please feel free to use your chair or just stay standing up against your wall. And I'm just gonna flex my feet, reach my hands, reach, pull, and then sink back down and just lay here for a minute. Relax, breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You can open up those arms to get a good stretch from the chest. Right, it was pretty rough on the chest muscles today, so make sure we're stretching those. One more deep breath. And let's bring one knee up at a time. Let's keep the right knee up. We're gonna let that left knee drop to the side. Hips stay square, but we're letting that left knee open. And you'll feel a gentle stretch in the groin here. You can open the leg if you need more. Just keep your hips square. Yeah, no, I don't need that. My knee feels much better. All right, go ahead and come back to center. And then let's drop that right knee, keeping that left knee square. Try to let your butt relax. Please, this is, I think, one of the first times or the only times that I've ever done stuff on the ground for this class. I know it's hard for a lot of people to get down and up off the ground. That's why I'm trying to stay here. But if you're not really feeling it, please let me know. And I will try to accommodate it. So let's go ahead. We're going to come back, bring that left knee open like we did before, except this time we're going to let the right knee drop to its just natural position. Let your hips move, and we actually kind of want to reach in the opposite direction, and you'll feel a great stretch from the chest all the way down, probably to the knee. If it's too much for you, use something, okay? But just try to stretch. You can always just do one of these numbers by gently pushing that knee down and relaxing. Deep breath. And go ahead and come back to neutral. Just sway a little bit, nice and gentle. And other side. So you should feel a nice, I'm like zoning out because this one feels so nice. I feel this in my IT band here, and actually feels kind of good on my ankle for some reason. So let's go ahead and bring those knees back up and stretch out those legs nice and slow. And flex those feet like you're trying to bring your toes as close to your body as possible. Reach and sink back down. Go ahead and fidget around and try to be as straighten the spine as you can. That's hilarious. Deep breaths. Just relaxing. All right. Okay, so this next one might be tricky for a lot of people. So you may have to find yourself back in your chair. But we'll go ahead and we're going to bring we'll bring both knees up. And I'm going to cross my left over my right, okay? So I've kind of got this figure 4 shape. My left ankle is on my right knee, okay? Left ankle on the right knee. And what I'm going to do is just, for the moment, I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to gently, with my hand, just push that knee. Very, very gently, okay? For a lot of us, this is already going to be a stretch for the hip down in here. If it hurts your knee, if it twists your knee, you can lower your leg a little bit and it won't twist the knee as much. Or you can do this in a chair. You can also do this without your leg at all, actually. You can just kind of bring your leg up to the chest and do one of these, okay, without any torsion on the knee. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and bring this knee towards my chest. Relax both lower legs. Don't hold this leg. Relax it. And breathe. Hope you can hear those birds outside my window. They're probably eating everything in my vegetable garden right now. Just keep breathing. Let that hip relax. To come out of it, just gently release that leg. I like to bring this knee across a little bit without moving my hips, and that really gets this IT band here. Oh. And slowly release. Other side. Just gently push that knee open to start. Taking deep breaths. I might fall asleep, everybody. That would be hilarious. All right, go ahead and take a deep breath. Bring that bottom knee up. Make sure you relax both those legs and your glutes, shoulders too. Remember, if you can't do this one without it hurting, just wait. You'll get there. Just keep that foot down instead. This is a nice way to feel, by the way, the lateral movement of the knee. You can kind of let your knee, while you're here, without moving your whole upper body, you can kind of loosen up the knee a little bit by moving it side to side. Also, we'll change the stretch in the hip because it'll pull on that other lower leg. And really sit down, bring that knee across. And go ahead and just release. Please slowly find your way to standing. Keep breathing the whole time so you don't get dizzy. And nice deep breaths as we come up. And we're going to do one down dog. I'm actually going to do it on my mat, a full down dog. If you feel confident enough to do a down dog, please go for it. Otherwise, you'll just use your chair or coffee table like we've been doing, where we just kind of fold in half with a nice straight back and soft knees, okay? So otherwise, I'm going to cheat. This is not technically how you do a down dog in yoga, but I'm just going to start with my forward fold here. And I'm going to release, deep breaths. I have to let my heels lift up a little bit to do this. And I'm going to come forward. So I'm a nice upside down triangle here. Drop your head. Deep breathing. Good luck breathing through your nose when you do this. If it's too much, just use your table, your wall, your chair, whatever. I'm gonna come through to end. I'm gonna come through a plank, knees down, and a child pose. If you're not doing that, don't worry about it. End how you like. And we're gonna come up nice and slow. And we're gonna go ahead and end just with some deep breaths. Standing or sitting, whatever you want. We're gonna reach up in big circle, big oval to the side. Other way, whoops, up, big circle. One more time. Let's bring both those arms up. Opposite direction. And relax. All right, everybody. I feel great. Thank you.